Ah, crap, Grimjow fell down. Yeah, screw it. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, and I have to say right off the bat, I'm a little bit sorry for last review because I was using Manga Panda translations for that, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, Manga Panda's better than this, or you should use this, or you should use Kiss Manga, whatever, what have you. I like using Manga Stream for my reviews, mostly because they're the translations that have the highest picture quality, so they look good and presentable on my videos. Also, you can maybe bash them because they throw in the jive talk and a little bit more curse words, you know, that are necessary sometimes, but hey, at least they remember to fill in all the different dialogue boxes and everything. Manga Panda, on the other hand, sometimes the translations are a little bit off. Remember last time at the end of the chapter, I was a little bit confused on what Pepe's intentions were, whereas the Manga Stream translation made that very apparent what he was trying to do. He wanted to kill everybody else so that he was the only one to have the glory and fame from Yuha, and that was very, you know, that was very, I should say, it wasn't even really touched upon at the end of the Manga Panda one. And they also omitted his introductory box, you know, Stern Ritter L, Pepe Wakabrata. I didn't even know his last name was known in the last chapter, so it's like little things like that that make me go to Manga Stream. But you know, let me tell you though, sometimes with these different translations, it's like walking into a parallel universe. I mean, I tell you, I really... Oh, okay. Apparently this universe is exactly the same like the last one, except I'm not wearing a tie and I have a high collar. I was expecting giant killer bananas, but alright, I'm cool with this, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's kind of annoying. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 595, entitled Rub Dolls 2. I'll come up with something clever for it, you know, just give it a couple more weeks. I'm sure Kubo's gonna keep it going. Maybe it's the fact it's the last arc, and he's thinking like, oh, I gotta get all the numbered titles out of the way as quickly as possible because I'm not gonna be able to do it that much in the next series I do. I don't know. Anyway, so chapter continues on where we left. We have Byakuya fighting against Shuhei. We have no idea what happened with Meninas and Leloto. You know, Meninas, you know, got affected by Pepe's love power, and she all She-Hulked out and punched Leloto right in her freaking face. She goes down, but we don't get to see Meninas at all. I don't know what's gonna happen with her, so I'm assuming this entire chapter she's just sitting on the, you know, sidelines drooling over Pepe's speech. Oh, and by the way, yeah, we get that. See, Kubo's been doing this thing, especially with the Stern Ritters that have powers that are kind of mind-fucky, where he basically just doesn't have them he doesn't have a personality for them, he just has their power be their personality. Let me explain what I mean. Like, Asnot, for instance. Asnot was always a guy that was kind of obsessed with fear. We saw that in his flashback, but the entirety of his fight with Rukia, all he seemed to talk about was fear, like constantly. Like, yeah, like I kept making the joke like he had his fear fetish. That's basically what he had. You know, going on about how fear is a primal drive for all humans and everybody has it and you can't escape it and it's always consuming you and it's eventually going to kill you and that's why I'm here. I'm Slipknot video. But, yeah, that's basically what the entire personality of Asnot was. It wasn't really that unique. And then after the fight with Rukia and Asnot and Byakuya as well, you know who we got? We got Gremmy fighting against Kenpachi, and Gremmy was the same exact way with his visionary power. He didn't really have a personality, so much of the fact that he just would blabber on about imagination the entire freaking fight. Pepe, the exact same freaking thing. He just going on about how what love truly is. That sounds like a bad song. Wait, no, there are several songs actually with those lyrics in it, so sorry for anyone that likes songs with those lyrics in it. But no, basically he just keeps going on like, oh yeah, love for your father, love for your mother, love for your wife, love to your husband, love to your Lord, love to your God. It's all the same thing. We're all driven by love, and that's the force that he's using to control Shuhei right now. The plus side of all of this, though, is like when Gremmy was fighting against Kenpachi, his opponent ain't having none of that. Byakuya just kind of, you know, he's keeping in mind, he's fighting against Shuhei while this is all going on. You know, he's going off blabbering about his love monologue, which, hey, I have to give Pepe some credit with that. It's not like Gremmy and Asnot, whereas they were in the middle of their fight while giving their monologues. Here, Pepe is controlling somebody else, or manipulating somebody else, I should say, and from the sidelines, he's kind of talking. That's a good tactic in terms of just distracting Byakuya, but Byakuya, he's pretty solid. He's pretty used to fighting these kind of like tight situations. So while blocking all of Shuhei's attacks, Pepe's basically, you know, giving a speech, and he's like, oh dude, are you freaking done here? Because this is really getting annoying.
Oh, well, maybe you should pay less attention to me and more to your opponent then.
Huh, what? I already finished him off a while ago, dude. Alright, so what's up next? Are you going to, you know, keep sending me Valentine's Day cards, or are you actually going to step up to bat and fight me? Because, you know, either way, I'll just shred you into 1,000 bloody pieces. And so basically, Byakuya just shoves all that love bullshit aside and just says, your ability is to manipulate people. I've fought guys like that before. All I need to do is take you out, and then they'll be freed. Same exact freaking mechanic. You don't have to go on and on about it.
Ah, so it appears you're used to fighting enemies that can control others.
Actually, yeah, I end up fighting a lot of those. But yeah, there was this one guy I fought a while back that kind of looked a lot like you. He was black, and he kept spouting off about love.
Oh yeah, that was probably my brother Zomari. Oh, that intoxicated son of a bitch. How's he doing? Haven't heard from him in a couple years. He's, traveling. Traveling? Yeah, just floating in the wind. He's fucking dead, isn't he? Yeah, I killed him, and I'd do it again. Several times. You have my condolence. Feel my love and die!
So Pepe charges up his his love beacon, I guess I'll just call it. Charges up his love beacon, shoots it at Byakuya. He shows a new kind of way to control it, like we saw last chapter. It was just like he made the heart shape and he shot in a straight line, and that affected Meninas. When his true target was Loloto, he just missed her, I guess he figured well, I got one of them, so that's all that I needed for them to fight against each other here. But in this situation, when he shoots it, Byakuya dodges it fairly easily, but then he displayed when he can move it, as long as he keeps his hands in the heart shape, he can move the beacon around. But we all know Byakuya, he's pretty gifted at Shunpo, so he manages to dodge Pepe's attacks no problem. That's alright, Pepe. We all get rejected sometimes by the people we want to love us, but we just have to move on, buddy. That's the main point. Honestly, though, I don't think you can hit a broadside of the barn with that thing, to be honest with you. Oh, gee, okay. I was just kidding. You don't have to go. Okay. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Oh, hey, dude, I like what you did with the board here. You added Pepe's... Whoa, wow, why is his beard so sexy? Aha! Oh, right. I guess Pepe begins to widen the scope of his love beacon attack, to which Byakuya responds by cutting the love in half. Alright, I was assuming the attack that Pepe was using was just like a light, like a flashlight. I didn't expect it to be an actual physical, manifestation of Reishi, but I guess that's what it is, because Byakuya has managed to cut it apart with his Senbon Sakura, to which he states to Pepe that, unlike Tsukishima, who could affect, inanimate objects, Pepe's ability is focused on love, which means unless your opponent could perceive love and have a heart, not an actual physical heart, but you know what I mean, like the heart, a brain, a consciousness, in order to perceive the emotion of love, unless your opponent has that, then your attack's not going to work. So that's why he slashed it with his sword. To which Pepe goes right about pulls a 180 on Byakuya and is like, well, listen to what you just said. Your opponent needs to have a heart. Zanpakutos are living creatures. To which Byakuya Senbon Sakura immediately turns on his master. Oh, what the hell, Senbon Sakura? I'm sorry, Byakuya, I can't resist him. His beard is just too damn sexy. Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason when I first saw this with Senbon Sakura turning on Byakuya, I was picturing Senbon Sakura as like a teenage girl falling in love with Pepe. Oh my god, Yorimaru, you will not believe the hunk muffin I saw today. He had the most epic freaking beard I've ever seen in my life, and his shades, oh my god, I got so freaking moist. I know, man, I know. You've been telling me about him for the past 4 hours. I know! I freaking love him! You know what? I think I'm putting a new poster up on my wall. No, you can't do that, man. You just met the guy. No, Hyorimaru. I think this is real. I think this is love at first sight right here. Okay, just remember what happened with the whole Zabimaru thing. Yeah, I know, but it's okay. I got over that. I'm ready to move on. And Pepe, I gotta give him credit, actually explains the reason why he didn't steal a Bankai during the first invasion. I always thought that was a little bit weird. I mean, disregarding Yamamoto, because we had the whole thing with Yuha with him, there were only 4 captains that got their Bankai stolen, and the Quincy's pretty much took them off guard during that first invasion. You'd think there'd be a lot more Bankai thefts, although I guess you could disregard the visors because they had hollow powers and everything, but, I'm just saying. Anyway, Pepe explains the reason he didn't steal a Bankai is because given the nature of his ability at its core, he can make any Zanpakuto do his bidding. Now, I don't think this means the exact same thing as stealing a Bankai, like what Bambietta and the others did. After they stole let's use Bambietta for instance. After Bambietta stole Koma's Bankai, she could actually manifest the giant. Don't think she ever did that, though that would have been pretty cool to see Bambietta dropping her reishi bombs on everybody while riding on her awesome giant thing, but you know what I'm saying, she actually manifested the Bankai. But with Pepe, all he's doing is just turning the Zanpakuto on his master. He's not really controlling it the same way. I mean, sure, maybe if Pepe said something like, Senbon Sakura, show your Bankai for me, and probably Senbon Sakura would abide by that, although I'm not sure the whole mechanics of how this works. Although I am a little bit curious as to exactly the Stern Ridders responded to the Bankais they received, because, they didn't plan on which Bankais they would steal. Kangdu didn't know he was going to get Yorimaru, so when they got back to the Silver, it was probably like some Christmas present opening, seeing what they got.
Oh yeah, I can't believe all those Bankais we stole. I got a giant one. What did you get, Kangdu?
I got a pretty kick-ass ice dragon. How about you, Asnot? I got some flowers. I'm glad they're the color pink. I like the color pink. Yeah, Okay, you have fun with that, buddy. What about you, BG9? It would appear I have acquired a very large ballistic missile measuring roughly 6 to 7 feet. The destructive capabilities of such would be enough to level a large building. Okay, that's enough. Power off. Wait, no, I haven't finished this. God, that guy's such a buzzkill.
So we get the title page of the chapter, and given Byakuya's nature of how he fights whenever he's in a pinch, you know, he pretty much takes the most drastic action possible. He was fighting against Zomori. Zomori took control of his left leg, and Zomori's going like, you can't move with your left leg. I can manipulate it now. What did freaking Byakuya do? Took his sword, severed his fucking tendon. He don't care. They're not useful to him in battle. He don't need them. So the same thing applies for Zenbone Zakura. Zenbone Zakura's turning on him. He just whips that sucker across the battlefield, and it lands in some boulders somewhere. However, this kind of backfires on him because Pepe states like, I shouldn't have done that because your sword's in love with me, so somebody else that's in love with me should be able to wield it. We then cut to Shuhei, who's standing back up, still wielding Kazeshini, who pulls Zenbone Zakura out of the rock. Aw, damn, two Zanpakutos in the same relationship. I don't think Kazeshini is gonna go for this one. Damn straight I'm not going for this. You know, I've had to put up a lot of your bullshit, Shuhei, but this kind of stretches it. Oh, come on, it's just one more Zanpakuto. Kazeshini, calm down. Oh, not a big deal? Yeah, here's the three-ways going on without my permission. Yeah, it's no big deal. Hey, you know what, Shuhei? You used to be cool. That time you went Shikai inside Tozen's mouth, I got to taste some really good blood that day. That was pretty kick-ass, but you know what? This is bullshit. I'm out. Later, bro. It should be good to note here that Shuhei's not exactly conscious so much that he's just like a mindless zombie. I'm hesitant to use that term given to what we've seen the past couple chapters, but you know what I mean. It's more of just like he's driven completely by emotion at this point. He's probably not even he's probably like barely conscious right now. He's just like need to fight for Pepe, that sort of deal. Also, I gotta mention this is kind of a cool spin on you know that cliche in manga and anime when like the main character's down for the count and then the love interest comes in, just like stand up and win. This kind of flips that whole thing around for the enemy's sake, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, Byakuya and Shuhei continue their confrontation. Byakuya manages to hold him off a little bit using Hakuda, but he states that that alone is not going to be able to take him out. Now, he could use Kido on him, but he notes that would probably kill Shuhei, given Byakuya's attitude for fighting in general. I wouldn't be surprised if this would have continued on more without any kind of change in the battle tactics. He would have just shot like a freaking thunder cannon directly in Shuhei's face, although, if questioning why he doesn't just use, you know, Rikajokoro or like the Binding Bakudo, you know, that's the whole point of how he fought against Zomori, and Zomori took control of Rukia. What did Byakuya do? He just immobilized Rukia's movements, so maybe he could do the same thing here, but I don't know, maybe he's a Quincy, so Kido's kind of moot, or, I don't know, it makes me seem like he just forgot about it. It's weird. Anyway, while distracted by fighting Shuhei, we have Pepe launch a heart attack which lands square on Byakuya. Byakuya, however, doesn't really seem that affected by him, so I guess he's just impervious to the power of love. Ah, screw that, no one's immune to love. Now let me show you the ultimate form. My Volt Standing. God's love! Okay. I'm not prepared for this, guys. I don't know what to play. Usually when I see some messed up mindfuckery in a Bleach chapter, I could usually go to a soundbite I pre-prepared, but I got nothing right now. No, you are not playing the fairy tale soundbite for that. You play that again, I will wring your goddamn neck. Alright? Here's a bunch of comments people posted on my fan page. That's all I got. I mean, God, cover that freaking thong up, dude. I know it's not even a thong, it's a diaper. I don't care, cover it up with something. Oh, sweet delectable chocolates. Oh, that's kind of good. Can I have one? No, I don't want one. Jeez, no. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, he turns into Cupid, or Eros, or whoever you want to base Cupid off of. That's obviously the theme for his Volt Standing. Makes sense because of the love thing, but dear God. And you know what? God's love. You know, if that's God's love, then that proves God is an Old Testament SOB, the kind that's going to smite everybody for doing what he doesn't say, because that's messed up right there. Why does he have to do the tongue shit? Why? What purpose is the tongue shit doing? I'm okay with the wings, I guess the diaper, once again, the whole Cupid thing, but the tongue just drives it into... God, burn it with fire! Alright, well, anyway, using this new power, he creates a love rope to shoot at Byakuya. Alright, Byakuya, now I'm going to use this divine power of mine to turn all the white-hot love of your fangirls into a deadly attack. Wait, hey, can we talk about this? I have a lot of fangirls, that's probably gonna... Oh, God, it hurts so much! Ha! I'm serious, Byakuya fangirls. You are loving him so much, you are hurting him. He was supposed to die like 78 chapters ago. We all know he was! You're causing him this pain right now. Could have been over way back. He could have been done. He could have been resting in peace right now, made up the Seirete, but no. You had to keep jamming it in deeper. Whatever. So anyway, yeah, using his love rope power, he brings down Byakuya, to which he then pukes out his highly Pfile, and then takes aim when all of a sudden he gets rejected! And the person that kicked him down is none other than Zombie Kensei and Zombie Rose 2.0, I guess, considering they have the markings around their eyes now. I guess they're a different breed of zombie, a Mayuri Kurotsuchi breed of zombie, as it were. But here's a question for you. Can they fall in love? No, I'm not really into that whole Valentine's Day greeting card, namby-pamby bullshit kind of love. What are you talking about, Kensei? What kind of love are you into then? You know, the kind that involves 69ing, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter, and what do I have to say other than, ending was out of nowhere, right? I mean, usually Kubo does a pretty good job of, like, you know, here's one battle, and either that battle can last very short or very long, depending, and then we can move on to a next battle, but it's very rare that we have two battles that each started separately, and now it looked like they're going to be combining each other, you know, like the Gazelle and Mayuri fight was a while back in your chapter, well, not a while back, but you know what I mean, a couple weeks back, and then we had this fight that was set up last chapter, now it looks like the two are going to converge, which I guess makes sense, adding some closure to both of them, because we kind of just cut away from Mayuri's fight last chapter. I hope it wasn't one of those situations where, oh yeah, Mayuri's doing something to Toshiro, we're not going to find that out for another 30 chapters or sort of deal. So here at least we had that all, you know, resolved and everything. We have Kensei and Rose that looked like they were taken over by Mayuri, so now he's in control of them. Kind of wish, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed because I was really looking forward to seeing Rose fight against Chiruchi because they both had the whip weapons, and then Kensei fight against Tordoni because they both had wind-based powers. So, I mean, maybe we'll get a flashback to see what happened with their fights and how Mayuri turned them, but they're obviously on the side of Mayuri now. So maybe, you know, Mayuri took control of them, and I don't know what the hell's up with Cassell, or maybe with Rangiku. Rangiku is also not here, so I don't know what's up with her, but maybe, you know, after, you know, Mayuri did that, he's just like, okay, those Byakuya's having trouble, go over there and fight with him, and Mayuri's still back in the fight. So I don't know, maybe we're going to combine the two battles in the next chapter. That's the best way I can say it. Pepe's Volt Standing, once again, stuff of nightmares. I mean, I love how Kubo keeps doing that. Like, Asnot keeps getting one-upped, isn't he? Like, seriously, though, Asnot, the Fear Stern Ritter, the F. Who would you be more afraid to run into a black alley, though? Him or this thing? I think, I mean, with Asnot, I'd be walking down a dark alley, I'd be like, holy shit, I'd kind of run and turn in the opposite direction, and then Asnot would kill me. But here, I think I would just shit my pants where I stood, and then just pass out in my own feces, you know, as opposed to what happened with Asnot, because this thing is just, God, it's wrong. So very wrong. But anyway, yeah, it's very hot in this room right now, so I'm going to go. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This will be Tekking101 signing out.
Suck on that! That was for you, little brother Zomi.
Oh, how can you be brothers? You're a Quincy and he was a freaking Arankar.
Well, he was my stepbrother, you insensitive asshole, and my dad adopted him from Africa because he was starving, and then he died, and then he became a hollow, and then he got turned into an Arankar by Aizen.
Shit, that actually makes sense.